Because ain't no such things as halfway crooks. Scared to death, scared to look. They shook. Ooh, it's a hydration situation up in here. Woo, where that locker room gonna come to life. And those X's and O's meet those I's and U's. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel if you like the content, and go to projecttransition.org. Become a gym member. Giver every month. Help those itty bitties, educate and empower them, the underserved, through exposure experiences. Oh, I got to put my hoodie back on, because ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Scared to death, scared to look, Sean, you shook. Ryan Clark, oh yeah. Andrew Schulz, oh yeah. And two Brit brothers. How y'all find yourself here? This video could be 200 minutes long, so I ain't gonna waste y'all time. Let's get into this and how they talked about the black woman. Oh my goodness.
Wait, what is the black girlfriend effect? This is
you don't know about
just glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut, like clean shape up. Glows up, bro.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends, they
grow
step,
a beard
they step
because
their dick
there's
up.
more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of.
That's hilarious.
Okay. Y'all notice a lot of laughter. Sensitive subject. Depends on where you land in terms of sensitivity. You got to remember, Andrew Schulz is a comedian. You got to remember, he's talking to these podcasters that look black to me, even though they live in Europe, not African American, as you would say. As I said before, and I will say again, I am not the sensitive type, but I am sensitive and respectful to those who are sensitive. So this takes on a life of its own. And I'm gonna show you the end of this again, because you're gonna, your mind's gonna be blown. When you see these same dudes, you see how they look right now, the Britt brothers. How they gonna flip it?
Slap the fuck out of.
See that? Nothing looks uncomfortable. I can tell the one on the right in the middle, he faking it a little. Anytime people do all that hand stuff and they laughing like, oh, like that's demonstrative. That's like letting you know how funny it is instead of just laughing. Like his boy laughing. He just like, that's funny. I just took a sip of water, about to spill it. Oh my God, it's the best joke ever. Okay, whatever. So far, I don't see any signs of being uncomfortable.
That's hilarious.
Did y'all hear that? He said, that's hilarious. Walk with me here. So that happens. And of course, there's gonna be reaction. And frankly, I heard the reaction before I heard the action. I was like, really? What's wrong with Ryan? What he mad about? Ryan was mad. Let's go.
The first thing is, when you think about the two podcasters from the UK, is we don't know if the black experience there is the same as the black experience for African Americans or black people that grew up in America. I'm sure to be on this media tour in the US and to sit with Andrew Schulz was a big thing for them. I don't care if it was a big thing.
Here we go.
In addressing Andrew Schulz, who I do think is funny, who sits with Charlemagne and has some of these discussions about the culture, I believe he got too comfortable. So I would like to explain some things to him. I want to explain to him the black experience, the black woman experience from my point of view.
Okay, I'm glad he personalized that, because none of us should speak for all of us. And one of the most damaging, disturbing words in our world is the word culture. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it makes you subscribe, it makes you conform, it makes you be a part of a belief system. It makes you get on code, whereas it misplaces the identity. The identity of anyone black should be the fact that they're black. The expressions of anyone black should be considered black, no matter where the borders are, if we're gonna keep it 100. If we're not, we're gonna say, okay, this sector acts like this region acts like that. And if you are black, I don't care who you are, get your butt back in the monolith, because that's the culture. See how the culture tries to group you in? The only box you should be in is no box. But he's personalizing this, and I respect that. Let's hear it.
It was watching my mother start from a bank teller and work her way up for decades to run her own collateral department, only to be mistreated when the bank was sold to another bank, and be so sick on Sunday that I finally had to say, hey, Mom, you're old enough to retire. It was to see her go to that same job, 8 to 5, to be treated anyway that she had to be treated because she only had a high school diploma, and then find ways to not only feed me, but do homework with me and my brother, take us to practice because my dad worked 3 jobs. That was the first black woman experience that I had.
Okay. A very common narrative conversation of that experience for a black woman. Very different for many other black women who are born into affluence, black women who are affluent, self-made black women, etc. But he is personalizing this. But this is the common narrative experience. This is the one that gets promoted and projected the most. So when you have conversations about a black woman, if you're going to have a 360 conversation, it will include what Ryan Clark is saying. It will include what Andrew Schulz was talking about, and it will include whatever experiences you want to add to it as well. But there's no elimination. None of them should be.
Right. The second black woman experience I had is marrying a black woman. And why?
Now, wait a minute. For mama to just, hold on. You married, what'd you marry? Your elementary sweetheart? Like, come on now, some other black women in there. I hear you.
Watching her sleep on my cot as doctors try to figure out why I'm 140 pounds and I'm a 30-year-old man who was 205 pounds a month before that. Her telling me months after that she would just go in the bathroom and cry every night in the hospital because she didn't want me to worry about her because I was so sick. Right? For her to hold my family together so I could be in the household with my children when I was doing things and I wasn't shit. That's the black woman experience. The black woman experience is black women caring so much about the nuclear black family, black women taking care of young black men to teach them how to be leaders, to teach them how to be strong, to teach them how to care about their God, about their family, and it's about their communities. And to raise their young black women to be independent enough to take care of themselves, but to understand how to support a family, how to support a man, while also understanding how to get it on your own. That's the black woman experience that I know.
None of this is exclusive to color, to race. None of this. And that's the problem with identity politics. That's the problem when you try to say, no, our experience is different. If you don't know that your experience is pretty similar to somebody else out there that looks a lot different than you, you haven't fully matured or been fully exposed. That's just fact. Another fact is we can't live in a world where we all know if something lands in reality, but we can't laugh at ourselves. There's an insecurity conversation that's going to be had at the end of this video, and not even raised by me. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? If you can't laugh at y'all, who can you laugh at? Them? Let's continue.
The reason that black women are tough is because when you're mistreated in the way that black women are, if you're not tough, you just die off, you don't survive. That's the...
That wasn't a good look for Tangy. Fred, that's my old teammate, my dog, Freddie T. Did Freddie T just leak?
The way that black women are, if you're not tough, you just die off, you don't survive.
That's that. Yeah, all right, dog. Come on, man. You're making way too much of this, but go ahead.
That's the black woman experience. And the other piece of it is, too, is something that I've learned, and I learned it from black women, is people feel so comfortable disrespecting them because we don't respect them publicly. Right?
I don't know if he losing the crowd, but he preaching. He got the prayer hands. Let's hear it.
White people for so long have used the excuse, why can't I say the N-word when you say that to yourselves or call yourself that or use that in your music, which is bullshit, right? Or white people have said, if you're using the B word, or they say, if you're using the B word, why can't I call them that? That's bullshit as well, right? That's excuses to be certain things and be disrespectful when you shouldn't be. So when you're sitting across from Andrew Schulz and he's talking about an experience that he can't understand because his wife is not black, you don't have the right to talk about that. You don't have the right to speak on something that you don't know, right? And to make a joke about what the experience is one thing if you're talking about haircuts and you're talking about clothing and you're talking about beards, or you're comparing what our friend Travis Kelce looked like when he was with Kayla Nicole to what he looks like now that he's with Taylor Swift, right?
Here's the danger of you being able to apply those rules that we uniformly don't agree on. Because I'm a black man, you're a black man, Ryan. You can joke me out. You can joke out the culture if you got jokes. If they're not funny, I'm not laughing. But we got to stop lying. And I learned that I need to stop lying to myself, even in perception, because people will see you a certain way. So I learned this. It crystallized for me when I used to get on airplanes. And finally, one time it just hit me. Because you know, you get on the airplane, I'm sitting in first class. Get there, young, pretty woman, no matter what color, but if she black especially, but no matter what color. Sitting there, half the flight. So, what's up with you? What are you up to? You know, all that dancing around. Dancing. We were about the same age, right? Cool. Finally, we get to where we needed to go, which we should have started there. You know who starts there? That old person. Usually it was an older white woman who would sit there and say, soon we sit down, she'd say, so you play football or something? Now, I know how that feels because she's stereotyping me. 6'4", 280, yoked up, sitting there, and she like, you play football or something. Like that's all I can do. And then there's a flip side to that same response where I'm like, bullseye, you're damn right. Now, unfortunately, I wish she would lead with, did you go to Columbia? But that's not how this world works. She doesn't know anything. She only saw what she sees, and then she gonna make her assumptions off of that. Ryan Clark says something very damaging, which is, you don't have those experiences, so you shouldn't talk about that. Oh, but you can talk about these things because I minimize those things. Beards, haircuts, Travis Kelce looking, etc. But when it gets to something for real, oh, off limits. That's not how the world spins. Not smoothly, not lovely, not in a great way.
Right? That is part of it. You start to assimilate to the people around you. What you're not going to do, though, is be disrespectful and say you have to develop a defense mechanism because of alleged violence. Black women aren't violent. Black women don't just walk around to beat people or to be angry or to be treated a certain way. No, black women, to me, were the entire front line of the Alton Sterling protest when he died, when he was killed by cops in Louisiana. Black women are on the front lines of everything that's about us. Black women understood that they had to take a back seat because as we were fighting for rights in our country, that we as men were going to be able to get through the door before they were. So they decided to push us forward and give us ideas and give us help and give us support and be our biggest cheerleaders because they knew we'll have an opportunity to get in the door first. The problem is, so many times now, we're getting in those doors and we aren't reaching back and bringing them through that same door with us. And this is just another example of that. So whoever is Andrew Schultz's black friend, Charlemagne, you're his black friend, sit him down, talk to him, tell him what the black woman experience truly is, because he ain't married to one and he's obviously never been around enough of them to know how strong, how beautiful, how independent they could be while also being supportive, how much black women have done to create this entire world that we all live in and the way that they've poured in it. I'd rather be upset, but I know if I'm upset and I'm loud, that just plays into the same angry black woman trope to the black man trope that he wants us to depict, and I refuse to give him that joy. The first thing is...
Okay. The last part, strong, tough, beautiful, lovely black women are. Even Ryan Clark said, can be. And this is why I want to have a human conversation, not just a black and white conversation. Because we all have the potential to be amazing. And we all have the potential to be funk ups. And that is not unique to any race. When you generalize, when you stereotype, when you have conversation, because that's what we do, it's the safest way to have community. It's through generalization. Think about it. Primal days. Think about it. Yesteryear. They didn't have these methods of communication. You had to lump them up, sum them up, and say, okay, we have evolved. But through our evolution, let's not lose touch with reality. Let's not lose touch with a comedian is going to say something that is intending to be funny. That's his first primary intention. Second one is to inform, educate, even in the most insensitive ways. Why? Because their form of communication through laughter, intentionally, hopefully, is the spear that can go through and pierce through all kind of contexts. I can laugh at my pain because my pain is not funny, but you can make me laugh at it. I can laugh at my plight, but my plight is not funny, but you can make me laugh at it. All comedians have said something out of bounds to somebody that was in bounds. That's the nature of the sport they play. The nature of the sport that Ryan Clark plays, the nature of the sport that I play. There are many people, many positions I didn't experience. There are other sports I didn't experience. But I dare you to give me a microphone. Oh, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk through it. Ryan Clark has done that as well. Whether it's the time where he said something insensitive about if he saw white safety, he would assume he was slow. He cleared up the statements. We get it. But we also get it. We got why you even said it in the first place. Whether it was talking about Pat McAfee and implying that, hey, I can't do what Pat McAfee does. Hug one executive and clown him, and then the next one hug him, and then he's my boy. The implications are there. But I ain't going to keep y'all too long because I'm trying to keep y'all so strong. There's more to this. There's hilarity. So that blows up. And now, you want to know why Cam and Mace are killing it in this podcast, sports media space? It's because they're rappers. They got the gift of gab. They can talk. They know how to play with words, and they will say anything. The latitude that they have is this wide. You don't want to beef with a rapper, and you don't want to beef with a comedian because they going to joke you out. So now, it's time for you to apologize, Andrew. You offended the black community. Let's apologize. Let's hear it.
Anyway, any listeners here that are upset at us, we just want to let you know that you're going to stay upset. Okay? What we're not going to do is sit here with our tucked between our legs apologizing on the podcast for jokes. Okay? Matter of fact, we have a new apology video that we should definitely watch. The Shits and Gigs gentlemen came on the podcast.
I love them. I feel bad they're going through this.
Yeah, but actually I do want to take it seriously because they are serious guys, and I'll stop fucking laughing, dude. They're defending.
Now, that's awkward, but at the same time, he's anxious. He's the only brother there, right? And they about to out two Brit brothers who talked about black women, and he's just sitting there like, how this landing right on me? And that's that uncomfortable laugh, like a little embarrassed laugh. Like, why are these fools making this a thing? Don't they know where they went? Didn't we just see a video of them smiling, laughing, mouth wide open, giggling, laughing? That's that laugh.
Their community. They came on the podcast. They got a lot of flack for laughing at a joke. And I would just want to hear their apology. These are serious fucking guys. And this is a serious apology. Al. Al. No, can you take it seriously?
All right, serious.
Okay. Shifty?
I haven't seen this.
Yeah, that's crazy, Shifty. That's crazy.
Shifty.
Come on, Shifty.
Shifty.
Fucking racist.
I want everybody to just take this serious, and I want us to try to have a serious moment. Mm-hmm. It's a serious podcast, and I want to just listen to their heartfelt apology.
Guys, right, before we get into today's episode, quick PSA, quick acknowledgement. So, if you know, you know. If you don't, that's fine. But we just wanted to address something that's happening at the minute. This past weekend, there's been a couple of clips going around from when we did a session on the Flagrant podcast.
Look at them hands. They waving.
While we were on our US tour. Mm-hmm. And there were a few jokes made that were incredibly inappropriate. One specifically pertaining to black women.
Yep.
And in the clip, Andrew was making a joke. I'm not even going to get into specifics. Frankly, like racist joke.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna help you, Andrew. Oh, damn. For those who squint and cry for racism in moments like this, make it impossible for those who really have to deal with it. These dudes, these Brit brothers done went back home, got backlash, got clowned, got whatever. Somebody calls, hey, you better do some crisis PR or something. And now they going on their podcast, rubbing their hands and their knees, stuttering through some apology that they do not feel in their hearts, just so they can save face. Just so they can keep their crowd, keep their base.
And we were laughing at it. And to give, first of all, before we get into like specifics or anything like that, obviously there's just literally no excuse.
Pause.
There is no excuse.
Agreed.
Pause.
Okay, Andrew keeps going, but I don't want this video to be 400 minutes. So y'all watch the rest of Andrew clowning if y'all want to. He goes there. Y'all got the gist. Those dudes, oh, I got to give you it to it again. Those are the same dudes that those dudes right there, the Britt brothers, this is them. If somebody just walked up to you and you don't have context and they say, who looks the most uncomfortable? You would be like, Andrew. Now, he don't look uncomfortable, but they look way too comfortable. Oh! Ah! Ninja, please. Okay, so kudos to Andrew Schulz for standing 10 toes down on his craft. He's like, first of all, did y'all not watch the Tom Brady roast? Y'all don't know me? Y'all don't know how I get down? Oh, y'all do? Well, if you do, what are y'all talking about? Issa Rae had a hit show called Insecure. I love that show like everybody else, it seems like, but more importantly because it was in my backyard. Like every episode was somewhere I grew up. Like it was crazy. And she was highlighting some of the hidden gems of LA. But don't forget, through all those episodes and all that hilarity, that the show was called Insecure for a reason. Talking about the experience, talking about the struggle, talking about success, talking about love, all of the things, all of the different complexions of the black experience that was termed with an umbrella insecure. And I don't know how many times people have taken a deep dive into that title and applied it to all of the content we saw in that show. But what I took from it is the same thing I saw in Ryan Clark's apology or demand for an apology. What I saw from the Britt brothers' apology is that you're not whole. You're not full unless you can laugh at yourself. And laughing at yourself will allow you and open you up to understanding when others are laughing at you, they're not laughing and pointing down at you. They're laughing with you. That takes a healthy mindset to be in that place. When you know that people, when you walk in the room and you feel good, you look good, you are good, and people stare at you, you know what you think? Yeah, I'm the shit. And when you're not good, you're not feeling good, you're not wearing your best, you're not looking your best, and someone stares at you, you know what you think? Why are they staring at me? What's wrong with them? What they looking at? Same stare, but how do you wear it? How do you take it? If I'm gonna speak for black culture, I'm gonna speak to the insecure culture elements that we present like this. Ain't no way you should be that perturbed by that joke that he said to them Britt brothers that made them laugh out hilariously. This ain't nothing but trying to appease and pander because, oh, I didn't know y'all. I didn't know that the code said I can't laugh at that. I didn't know that the culture was mad at that. So, think I'm tripping? I ain't tripping. So we get Ryan Clark last time. And I was, you know me, I got to read the tea leaves. What the world's saying about it, good, bad, and ugly. I believe in the wisdom of the crowd. And here we go. Most relevant, Mr. Mulholland. I hate how soft ninjas are now, man. SMH. All these sad-ass think pieces over jokes. As one of the dirtiest players in NFL history, someone who played with reckless abandon, someone who intentionally tried to injure other humans for sport, I thought you'd be a little tougher, bro. Okay, forget the NFL part. It started off a joke. I don't think he had Channing and Fred, and that's me talking. I ain't talked to Fred, that's my dog. I ain't talked to Channing. I respect them. But they ain't look like they wanted that. But they were letting him have his piece. Ryan Clark replied, more than welcome to try to see how tough, well, more than welcome to try me to see how tough, good brother. But jokes are only funny if the subject believes so. That's a damn lie. But nobody, see, this is when I know you ain't right. I'm saying you taking it out of context, the joke was a joke, and you soft or you wrong for doing that. And you saying, well, if I'm soft, let's fight. Like, no, the fight didn't get you to that place of feeling soft. The words did. So let's keep going with these words, brother. Don't try and amp it up. Don't try and take it to the next level. Okay, same as my joke about Tua last year. I thought it was funny. Other players thought it was funny. My colleagues thought it was funny. He and his people didn't. Got a little something there. But nothing when it comes to the joke is only funny if the subject believes so. I mean, times people have joked me out, but I'm the type that you can say, yo, mama, and I'm like, so? Oh, my mama dead too, and you still say it? So? Dog, I'm not built like that, but I'm listening. Oh my God, stop treating black women like Make-A-Wish kids. Are they on the no jokes list alongside children and Jews? It really felt that way. Like, don't you dare talk about it. I'm gonna leave it alone. Last point I want to make is this. To be fully respected, fully represented, you're gonna have to bring it all. And all has to be on display. And all has to be exposed. And all has to live under scrutiny. Right? That's the game we play. We want to be fully recognized as a culture. Take these W's and take these L's, right? Even if they're jokes. I think Andrew was talking to a stereotype that exists, because stereotypes exist because they're real. To the smallest degree, to a larger degree, they exist. Ooh, man, that Indian person sure can spell. Oh, man, that Asian person sure is good at math. Oh, hey, those black people sure are talented and athletic and can sing. And then there are some that are not so flattering. The selective. I want the good ones. Chill on the other ones. I'm healthy enough to take them both. Hopefully you are as well. But beat it up in the comments. Did it get you upset? Did you go on Ryan Clark's side with the Britt brothers? Or are you like some of these people who are commenting in Andrew Schulz, like, what? Take these jokes. I'm trying to be sensitive to those who are sensitive, even though I'm not sensitive. I thought it was fair game what he said, and trust me, all the jokes that I hear, including Ryan Clark, who has joked on white players before, saying they look slow, out his own mouth. Can't make sense out of nonsense. Let me know what you think. Beat it up in the comments and beat it up and go. Wow.